Hey, what's up guys? Steve here, and welcome to today's video where we're going to take a look at the 25 highest selling basketball cards from the March of 2023 Elite Goldin auction that ended on March 29th. And we get a classic 90s insert to kick things off at number 25 with this 1997 Metal Universe Precious Metal Gems Shaquille O'Neal. This card was PSA authenticated, it received 42 bids, and sold for $28,200. This is the first ever PSA authenticated sale of this card I could find, but this price actually beats out all previous sales of both a PSA 6 and a PSA 7. The all-time record sale of this rare 90s insert is still held by a BGS 9 that sold for $39,600 at a Goldin auction back in September of last year. Up next at number 24 is this 2005 SP Authentic Sign of the Times featuring Michael Jordan and LeBron James. This was a PSA 9 that received 23 bids and sold for $30,000. Serial numbered out of 50, this is the first ever sale of this card I could find in a PSA slab. The all-time record sale of this card is still held by a BGS 9 that sold for $58,800 back in August of 2021. Coming in at number 23 is this 2018 Panini Flawless Luka Ruby RPA. This was a BGS 9.5 that received 14 bids and sold for $31,200. Despite being serial numbered out of only 15, I was able to find multiple prior sales of this card in both a Beckett and PSA slab, and this sale is drastically down. The last BGS 9.5 sold for $58,800 only a few months prior in January, while the all-time record sale is still held by another BGS 9.5 that sold for $72,000 back in October of 2022. Kobe makes his first appearance on today's list at number 22 with this 2003 UD Exquisite Collections limited logos. This was a PSA 7 that received 24 bids and sold for $31,200. This is the first ever sale of this card in a PSA 7 that I could find, and also the lowest grade to ever hit the market in a PSA slab. Serial numbered out of only 75, the all-time record sale of this Kobe is still held by a PSA 10 that sold for $360,000 back in February of 2022. Up next at number 21 is this 2018 Panini National Treasures Trae Young RPA, card number 103. This was a PSA 10 that received 14 bids and also sold for $31,200. If you want to see a player and a card that built up only to crash back down, look no further than this RPA. The last PSA 10 of this card to hit the market sold for $96,000 back in July of last year, and the last PSA 10 prior to that sold for $144,000 only a few months prior in April of 2022. Kicking off the top 20 of today's list is this 2003 Upper Deck Ultimate Collections Gold LeBron James Rookie. This was a BGS 8.5 that received 24 bids and sold for $32,400. Serial numbered out of only 23, this is the first ever sale of this card I could find in a BGS 8.5. The all-time record sale of this card is still held by a BGS 9.5 that sold for $184,500 at a Goldin auction back in August of 2021. Up next at number 19 is this 2021 Panini Prism Nebula Choice Steph Curry Prism, card number 154. This was a PSA 8 that received 25 bids and sold for $33,600. This is the first ever sale of the Steph Curry 1 of 1 I could find. Coming in at number 18 is this 2003 Upper Deck SPX Spectrum LeBron James RPA, card number 151. This was a BGS 9.5 that received 16 bids and sold for $34,200. Serial numbered out of 25, this is surprisingly the first ever sell of this parallel I could find. The other RPA from this set is serial numbered out of 750, and a BGS 9.5 of that card currently sells for around 10 grand on average. Kobe makes another appearance at number 17 with this 2004 UD Exquisite Collections Emblems of Endorsement. This card that was PSA authenticated received 16 bids and sold for $34,800. This exact PSA authenticated Kobe sold for $1,200 more back in November of last year. Serial numbered out of only 10, the all-time record sale of this card is still held by a BGS 8 that sold for $110,400 at a Goldin auction back in April of 2022. Up next at number 16 is this 2003 Topps Chrome LeBron James Rookie Refractor, card number 111. This was a BGS Gold Label 10 that received 18 bids and sold for $40,666. This sell is down as BGS Gold 10s were selling for between 42 and 120 grand back in 2022. The all-time record sale of this rookie refractor is still held by a BGS black-labeled Pristine 10 that sold for $198,000 in February of this year. Coming in at number 15 is this 1997 Skybox EX2000 Michael Jordan Jambalaya, card number 6. This was a BGS 9.5 that received 19 bids and sold for $45,600. This sale is right in line with the last BGS 9.5 that sold back in January. The all-time record sale of this rare 90s insert is still held by another BGS 9.5 that sold for $126,000 back in May of 2022. A PSA 10 has not hit the market since August of 2020, where the last one sold for just over $51,000 at a Goldin auction. Up next at number 14 is this 2017 Panini National Treasures Jason Tatum RPA, card number 103. This was a BGS 9.5 that received 19 bids and sold for $46,800. This sale is up from the last 3 BGS 9.5 sales I could find, while the all-time record sale of this card is still held by a PSA 10 that sold for $193,200 at a Goldin auction back in May of 2022. Coming in at number 13 is this 2021 Panini National Treasures Franz Wagner Rookie Logo Man, card number 129. This PSA 8 with a 10 for the auto received 26 bids and sold for $79,200. This is the first ever sale of this 1 of 1 I could find. Up next at number 12 is this 2021 Panini National Treasures Logo Man Zion Williamson. This 1 of 1 Logo Man was ungraded and it received 19 bids, selling for $84,000. It amazes me the amount of money people keep investing in Zion, who missed the entire 2021 season, and it looks like he's going to finish this year's season with less than 30 games played. We get another rare 90s basketball insert at number 11, with this 1998 Skybox Metal Universe Scottie Pippen, card number 24. This was a PSA 8 that received 28 bids and sold for $86,400. This is the Gem Masters 1 of 1 and the first ever sell of this card I could find. Kicking off the top 10 of today's list is his 2013 Panini National Treasures Giannis RPA. This was a BGS 9 that received 22 bids and sold for $90,000. This sale is down as this exact BGS 9 sold for $162,000 back in December of last year. Serial numbered out of only 25, the all-time record sale of this card is actually held by a BGS 8 that sold for $186,000 back in March of 2022. Up next at number 9 is his 2018 Donruss Optic Luka Gold Vinyl Prism Rookie, card number 177. This was a BGS 9 that received 29 bids and sold for $92,400. This is the first ever sell of this 1 of 1 Luka rookie I could find. Coming in at number 8 is this 2003 Upper Deck Ultimate Collections LeBron James Autographed Rookie, card number 127. This BGS Gold Label 10 received 6 bids and sold for just over $97,000. This is the first Gold Label 10 to not break the 6-figure mark since August of 2019. The last PSA 10 sold for $66,000 back in March, while the all-time record sale of this card is still held by a black-labeled Pristine 10 that sold for $660,000 at a Goldin auction back in February of 2022. Up next at number 7 is this 1984 star Michael Jordan, card number 101. This was a PSA 8.5 that received 29 bids and sold for $110,266. This is the first ever sell of this card I could find in a PSA 8.5. Right now, PSA 8s have been averaging around 77K, while the all-time record sell of this card is still held by a PSA 9 that sold for $444,000 back in September of last year. Coming in at number 6 is his 2003 Topps Chrome LeBron James Rookie X-Fractor, card number 111. This was a BGS Gold Label 10 that received 28 bids and sold for $116,266. This sell is drastically down from the last BGS Gold 10 of this LeBron rookie that sold for $252K back in September of last year. Serial numbered out of 220, the all-time record sell of this card is still held by another BGS Gold Label 10 that sold for $312,000 at a Goldin auction back in February of 2022. The last PSA 10 of this card sold for $156,000 back in June of last year. Michael Jordan kicks off the top 5 of today's list with this 2000 Upper Deck Ovations A Piece of History autographed relic. This was a BGS 9 that received 20 bids and sold for $116,400. This is the new record sale of this card in any grade by any grading company. Serial numbered out of 25. Matter of fact, this is only the second ever sale of this card I could find. The other one was for a BGS 8.5 that sold for $79,200 at a Goldin auction back in January of this year. We get our monthly regular at number 4 with this 1986 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie, card number 57. This was a PSA 10 that received 17 bids and sold for $192,000. This sale is up roughly 10 grand from the current average sale price for a PSA 10. This Jordan rookie is a pop of 318 in a PSA 10, and it's crazy to think that one sold for $840,000 back in August of 2021. Up next at number 3 is this 2003 Topps Chrome LeBron James Rookie Gold Refractor, card number 111. This was a BGS 9.5 that received 18 bids and sold for $204,000. This sale is down as a Beckett 9.5 just sold for $420,000 at a Goldin auction back in December of last year. Serial numbered out of 25. The all-time record sale of this LeBron Gold Refractor is still held by another BGS 9.5 that sold for $900,000 back in January of 2022. Coming in at number 2 is this 2008 UD Exquisite Collections Triple Logo Man featuring Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson. This one of one was PSA authenticated and received 22 bids and sold for $288,000. Someone took a massive loss on this card as this exact authenticated one of one just sold for $540,000 in November of last year. If you think that's a pretty big loss on this card, wait until you see the next one at number 1. Topping off today's list for the 25 highest selling basketball cards from the March of 2023 Elite Goldin auction is this 2009 Panini Playoff National Treasures Steph Curry Century Platinum Rookie, card number 206. This was a PSA 10 that received 14 bids and sold for $312,000. I always run across cards that take a significant loss while doing research for these videos, but this might be the largest loss I have come across. This exact PSA 10, certification number and all, sold for just over $1 million at a Goldin auction last year in August. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.